Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike Matusow's birthday edition here on the Mouthpiece. We're going to talk about today the World Series of Poker final table press release and what I think of it and everyone else does. We're going to talk about the WPT Championship recap. Congratulations to one of my dear friends, David Chu. We're going to talk about my hand of the week. We're going to talk about poker savvy plus videos. We're going to talk about my up-and-coming WPT boot camp that I'm leaving to tomorrow to teach. And we're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about. My weekend online poker and my sick degeneracy, and the fact that I'm falling asleep right now here on the Mouthpiece. Welcome back to the Mouthpiece, and here we are again. That's right, the WPT, not the WPT, the World Series of Poker final table at the Rio. 4 months later, are they crazy? The greed is back. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from me. My take on the World Series of Poker final table. I think it's a travesty. I think it's another setback for poker. But what does it mean? Everybody's still going to show up, and they're just going to milk and take until there's nothing left to take. They get like $100 million in endorsement money. They are going to make $20 million more in juice, which this should be the breaking of all the poker players since the WPTs were down 40%. This one here should be the ending of it, by the way. Okay, what is their thinking of 4 months later at the final table? Okay, I will say one thing. If a name player happens to make it to the final table, the endorsement money he will get during that 4-month period to secure endorsement money will be huge. If some bunch of random amateurs get there, they ain't still not going to make much of anything. But that's the very tiny plus point to it. But let's also look at the negatives. How could you take somebody who's on a rush and totally locked into his game and tell him come back 4 months later and hope the moon's still lined up for you, and the cards are still breaking your way, and everything in your life is going still good, and hope you win? So what do you do for 4 months? What do you do for 120 days, every single day waking up? How do you like to have the commanding chip lead of the biggest tournament in the world, and every day of your life for 4 months? I mean, are you enjoying it, or you just can't sleep at nighttime? And what if you're a internet kid that won a seat? I mean, can you imagine? The guy's going to live 4 months in agony. What if, here's the big question, what if an older gentleman makes it there and he dies during the 4 months? What happens to his chips or his money? We're talking about huge amounts of money. What happens if a guy gets ill and he's in a hospital? This is fucking ludicrous. I mean, how much do they fucking want to make? All right. Congratulations, Jeffrey Pollock. I'll tell you what, you are up for Businessman of the Year. I mean, I have nothing against you. You're prime. Hell, if I was opening a business, I'd probably have you too, because you got these moron poker players that'll just keep paying it. You know, I say it like it is, you know. I said, let's get all the top players together. Let's rent the Thomas and Mack Center out. Call it the World Championship of Poker. We run it. We get a TV contract, and we get all the money, and we get the endorsement money, and we don't charge any Jews, but we want to give it all to corporate who fucks us over and does this to us over and over and over. I don't understand it. For a fucking bracelet? Well, you know, I said this to Phil Hellmuth, and I said this to Johnny Chan. He goes, well, you could go over to Thomas and Mack, and you could play this. I'll be over there trying to win a bracelet. That's what it means, a fucking bracelet, so they can make millions. This is the degeneracy of our poker society. And when you got somebody like Phil, who's my very dear friend, by the way, who thinks like this, how could we ever stop from going broke? I mean, let's be honest. After they zipped $20 million out of the poker economy and rake coming up here in the next 2 months. The WPTs are already down 40%. Will there be anything left? I predict by 2 years from now, the tournaments will consist of the people that Eric Lindgren stakes, the people that Phil Ivey stakes, the people that Full Tilt stakes, and the people that PokerStars stakes, and maybe 20 more people, because everybody else will be broke. That is my fucking take on the bullshit final table. I think it's really horrible for poker. I think it's really bad for somebody that's in the groove. I mean, if I'm in the zone and I can't wait for that final table, I know I can't lose going to that next day. 4 months later, anything bad could have happened to me. I mean, the zone. I mean, you lose the zone. You know, everybody knows in poker when you get in that zone, you get in that zone possibly if you play 100 days a year, maybe 15 days a year. It's just bad, and I don't understand the reasoning or the greed behind. I do understand the reason, but they just don't need it. Anyhow, that's my opinion. The WPT Championship has come to an end. When I left you last week, there was 10 left, including my true favorite and good friend, Gus Hansen. Well, he tried and tried and tried and tried to give his chips away. But yet, somehow, he found a way to get his money in 3-1 dog like 5 consecutive times and win them all. Which is okay because, listen, nobody understands it. Gus is a great human being and a great person, and I really think the world of him. But you have to ask yourself, if you read all the recaps of the final table and right before the final table is, what goes through his head during the time he's making these decisions? I don't know. But, to make a long story short, the recap, how he took everybody out and got head up with David Chu. I'm very proud of my friend David Chu because we're very good friends, and I gave him advice. You know, I called him before the final table. I said, let me give you some advice what you want to do with this final table. Gus is going to get aggressive and be a maniac. Corey, the guy Corey, is going to play fast too, and they're going to try and get chips. Anyhow, somehow, somewhere, they're going to everybody's going to knock each other out. You just sit back and wait for them to beat each other up. Make sure you get third place money for $1 million, and then see what you could do from there. Well, hell, all right, he said, that's a good idea. All right, he didn't play one hand. It took 22 hands. He was head up with Gus. And, you know, I also talked to him right when he got head up because I had that long break, and I said, don't worry, the donkey will double you up, and when he doubles you up, your poker skills are going to take over. And, you know, I will say, I don't want to say bad things about Gus because I love Gus. But when he played David head up, I think he did a lot of good things. I mean, he played the small ball. He was keeping him chopping. But then he makes the mistake, the catastrophic mistake. He raised it, and David moves in. I mean, why would you ever call $3.5 million with 2 deuces and give the guy a chance to be a coin flip and double up and get back in the match? It was the downfall of his tournament. Nobody understands this. If Gus don't call that $3.5 million where David doubles up with the 5s to the deuces to get up to $8 million, Gus is going to win that tournament. All he had to do is raise and limp and raise and chop. And if he's going to chop him down about $2 million, $1 million, and he's never going to let David back in. But see, Gus's recklessness, which got him all the chips, cost him there. And when David got to $8 million, Gus was no longer able to just zip him around and bully him around because now they're playing 60,000 and David's got $8 million in chips. And now he's got plenty of bets. And, David won a couple big pots. And when he got to $11 million to $16 million, I really thought he was going to win. And the only thing that happened here is when he got to 11 and 16, Gus won 9 pots in a row. And I think David should have really put a hammer down there and really put some pressure on him. But it's okay. He waited it out because he felt Gus would make a mistake. And then came the keyest hand after the 5s versus deuces, which I still don't know what either one of them have, so you'll have to see it. I haven't talked to David about it yet. I've talked to him, for some reason I've talked about everything but this hand, and that was when Gus raised it and David re-raised it 1.2 million more, and Gus called, and the flop came Jack, 6, 8 of spades, and David bet 1.6 million, and Gus called, and then David moved in on the turn, and Gus folded, and that took David to the chip lead. And like I said, what Gus's downfall of this whole thing was the fact that all he had to do is chop small and keep David's down, yet he called the big bet with the fives. That was really the downfall. And then that hand there, which I still don't know what they had. And once David got then David won a couple more pots. He took the lead, and the last hand is very interesting. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, with all the luck and fortune that Gus got through the last 2-3 tables, when the money went in for the title, he was 2-1 favorite with one to come. So, give Gus credit for that. It's unfortunate for him, but, as you all know, what the final hand ended up being was an interesting hand. Gus raised with 10-8 offsuit. David called ace-9 of spades. Come ace-10-8. David check called 800,000. Turn card came 5 of spades, where David let out for $1.2 million. Gus moved in for 8.9, and David, after 4 minutes in the tank, called him. And David needed an ace and 9, a 5 or a spade, and the ace came on the river for him to win. But give credit to the fact that David hung in there. He played exactly the way you're supposed to play at the final table, and he is one of my dear friends, and I really felt for him to win. And congratulations to David Chu. In case you all didn't know, I just want you all to know, Poker Savvy Plus, www.PokerSavvyPlus, Mike the Mouth videos, 7-day free trial. If you like my videos, $24.95 a month. I think you'll like them. They're pretty darn good. Check them out, Poker Savvy Plus. Let's talk about internet poker. Okay, yes, since the power of positive thoughts has hit me, and the randomness of a changed person I became 2 weeks ago, out of the blue, I decided that no negativity, everything positive. I have rolled off the biggest high-limit winning streak that I've had, which is 15 days now. And anybody out there who's been railing me knows that I've been putting a lot of hours in the last couple days, and I'm very, very tired as I speak of this show. Because the 500 and 1,000 horse games have just been absolutely unbelievable. I've run a minuscule amount of money into quite a lot of money, in which I pretty much paid off every marker that I owe, which is so good. Thank you, God. And the reason why the games are so good is the World Series is coming up, and all these internet superstar PLO players are trying to learn horse playing 500 and 1,000. Can you imagine that? I mean, they have no idea what limit poker is to no limit or pot limit, let alone 5 different games. And God, if these games could stay good for about another month, they'll be calling about the Bank of Matusow. So let's hope it keeps going. It keeps running good. Power of positive thinking. That's the way it is. I don't believe I'm ever losing again, and that's the way I'm going to stay thinking. That's how my internet's been running. My hand of the week comes to you by an Andy Block. That's right. It wasn't a big pot, and it wasn't much of a hand. But to me, I would like to understand it. Everybody folds. We're playing 5-handed, a limit hold'em horse. We're in the limit hold'em match. Andy Block raises small blind. Mike the Mouth re-raises with ace jack. The flop come 10, 5, 3. Andy checks. Mikey calls. No. Andy checks. Mikey bets. Andy calls. Turn card comes a king. Andy checks. Mikey bets. Andy calls. Now that put 3 clubs on the board, and it was such a weak call on the flop, and I thought he picked up a flush draw on the river, on the turn with the 3 clubs. So I really like my hand here. I'm convinced ace jack's good. The river card comes a jack. Andy checks. Mikey bets the nuts. Andy calls. And what hand does Andy block turn over for our hand of the week? The King Deuce offsuit, ladies and gentlemen. The King Deuce offsuit. Now, it was just a head-up, small pot, but how bad did Andy Block play this hand? He peeled one off to a guy who 3-bet him in the big blind in a 5-handed game with King Deuce on a 10-5 3-board. He peeled. Now he hits the king and he check calls? What do you mean check calls? He's got to check raise and find out where he's at. If he gets re-raised, he folds. It's a real easy, simple game. Of course, the jack has to land for me to lose another $1,000. But hey, that's my hand of the week. Andy Block, you misplayed it on three before the flop. You misplayed it on 3. You misplayed the flop. You misplayed the turn. And I guess the river, I think, check calling might be okay. Whatever. That's my hand of the week. Andy, I love you. Okay, it's time for that special time, the phone call segment. And this should be interesting phone calls. I have a feeling I'm going to hear the same question a lot today. So let's light up the phones. They've been going nonstop lately. Let's hit it. It's that time again. Welcome to the Mouthpiece.
Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, this is Frank in Colorado.
Frank from Colorado. What it be, brother?
Hey, man. I got a couple of topics to run by you, if you don't mind.
Okay, I bet I guess what one of them is, but go ahead.
Okay, well, there's not the obvious one of the WSOP final table.
We're going to talk about that at the top of the show.
I imagine.
What else? What else you want to talk? What else?
Well, here in Colorado, a little bit strict gaming laws.
Right.
There's 3 towns in Colorado that you can gamble.
I say f*** them all, man.
Exactly.
Play. No, go ahead.
On top of that, $5 max bet limits.
Yeah.
And on top of that, no tournaments with more than a $500 buy.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you do for a living?
You know what? I'm just an average truck driving Joe.
All right. Well, you need to find a different place to live then, buddy. If you can move out.
I hear that.
You know, because there's if you like to play poker, there's so much poker all over the country.
Well, I'm with you, and I'm making my way out to the series this summer.
Oh, come up to me, say hello, man.
I will.
And one other thing. One more thing. What is your take? What is your take on the World Series of Poker thing?
Wow, dude, you know what?
And a quick answer.
It just seems like it's another way that Harris is raping the players.
Wow.
You know, nothing goes back to the players.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear.
Are they doing a championship this year? Are they bellying up?
We're going to talk about that at the top of the show. This is going to be great to hear. But that's what I wanted to hear out of you.
Excellent.
I appreciate the phone call. And it seems like this will be the topic of the day on every phone call. So I can't answer everybody with my opinion. I'm just going to come right off at the top of the show and tell you my opinion. So
I'm sure.
I appreciate your call.
As soon as I saw that hit card player, I said, man, the phones are going to jump today for Mike.
I knew about it yesterday. So.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks for the call. Call me anytime.
Wait. I still got my questions, though.
Oh, I thought.
Here's my question.
What is that? I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to figure out, up in Black Hawk, which is the best casino action that we have.
Right.
There is a guy that runs a bunch of horses, and I think everybody's real concerned and kind of figures that they're all dumping chips because his horses are always in the end and that kind of thing. So we're wondering, how is it that you catch somebody? I know that there was a similar skirmish or thoughts as far as Men the Master.
Oh, well, those are the...
Give us any
you know what? In the old days, I mean, there wasn't many players, so you could, men used to stake a lot of players, and there was a lot of Well, I'm not going to accuse anybody of anything, but because that's not my point of time. But in this day and age with so many players and stuff, and the popularity of poker, you don't see it now. In a small place like that, it'd be pretty obvious. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, that's kind of my point, but I mean, one of my buddies.
But listen, if you're going to cheat in small $5 tournaments or something, you really got to be. You really got to be sick because,
well, in this case, it's the HPT came through last month, and so it's a $1,600 buy-in.
Gotcha.
With I think first place was close to 200G.
Well, my advice is get a tournament director that watches over everything, and you won't have anything to worry about. But I got to go. I got another call. Thanks for the call, and I'll talk to you soon. Call me anytime.
Thanks, Mikey.
You got it, buddy. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Happy birthday to Mike. What's going on?
What's going on, Mike?
Not much. What are you doing?
All right. Hey, this is John calling from California.
John from California.
Yeah, first-time caller.
First time. All right, John. I'm glad you got through.
Yeah, well, thank you, buddy. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Absolutely.
My question is, I've been reading a lot of poker books,
all right,
by some players and stuff, and some of them tend to be more of limit players, and some of them, tend to be more of no-limit players. And I was wondering what your opinion was in the long run of grinding it out in cash games, if you think it's better to go the way of playing limit.
Limit horse
no
is
limit,
where the money is right now.
No limit is?
Limit horse.
Limit.
Horse. Everybody knows that the horse, 50,000 horse at the World Series is like going to become the main event. So everybody's trying to learn all the games. So all these people that were no-limit players are trying to learn limit games, and the adjustment from a no-limit to limit is like almost impossible because limit is a totally different game. So the horse games are juicy, and that's what you want to be playing right now.
Okay.
And learning how to play all the games.
All right.
That's my advice.
Okay, for sure. That's what I've
Let me tell you something. Every Nook, Joe, Cranny, and Bob has learned how to play no-limit hold'em by now. Mm-hmm. Trust me, it's like it's a war zone out there. It's a joke. I mean, you better catch cards.
Yeah. Okay.
And
for sure.
Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All righty. Well, if you want to learn a little bit more about some limit games and stuff, I do videos over at Poker Savvy Plus.
Okay.
You can get a 7-day trial and check out some of my videos. www.pokersavvyplus.
Poker Savvy. Okay.
Yeah.
For
maybe
sure.
get
I'll
some
check that
information.
out, too.
All right.
Some better information. All right, Mike.
Thanks for calling. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks for taking my call.
Later.
Bye.
Bye. Welcome to the the Mouthpiece. Yeah, you know what I mean. What's going on?
No way. I'm talking to Mike Matusow. What's up, man?
You know what?
From Raleigh, North Carolina.
You know what? You might not be talking to him. This might be his alter ego. This might be like
Bull.
some f***ing up dude that's like been playing way too much online poker the last 2 days. And
I have,
needs some sleep. But anyhow, what's going on, bud?
Man, I called to talk to you about a hand and just about life. How are you doing?
Life. Let's talk about life. Life is great. I am a new, changed person. Since I changed myself, and since I decided to never be negative again, and since everybody always said I was the most negative person in poker, and you know what I really realized is I think I willed myself to lose every day. And I went out and bought like 10 books and like 8 CDs on the power of positive thinking and positive thoughts. Okay? And I've proceeded to win 15 days in a row and like 600,000 straight. Now, it's just not a coincidence. So, life is good, and I am a very positive person right now. And that's that question answered.
I saw your last episode, man. It'll all change.
Change? I'm never going to lose another day in my life in poker. How do you like that? It's going to be like it was back in 98, 99, where I won 9 out of 10 sessions for 3 years straight. Okay? Because you know what? I walked into a poker table not saying what I'm going to win, if I'm going to win. It was how much I was going to win. And guess what? That attitude's back. So watch out for everybody.
good for you. I know you're the man. You're probably one of the best that plays the game, if not the best.
Thanks, buddy.
And congrats to you for being the best. And
well, I'm just happy that I
do really think that.
I never really realized in myself how negative I was and how I wrapped myself in such negativity. And until I started reading reading all these books, I just couldn't believe that I had allowed myself to be so negative. And they'll never hear me ever say, see me, when you look at me now, I'm the luckiest player in poker. And the one thing I'll tell you about that I've learned from reading, there's no such thing as luck. You bring your own luck. That's the bottom line. You make your own luck. If you think negative thoughts, negative things will happen. If you believe you're going to do good, you'll win.
I will. I'll take that.
What's the hand that you were talking about? Hurry up, I got another call.
Here's the hand. All right, I'm sitting at a 2-4 on full tilt.
All right.
And
no limit
for the max.
Okay,
no limit.
Yeah.
Bought in for 400 max.
Okay.
And I've got this guy sitting in position on me, and he's directly to my left, and he's raising every pot. Mm-hmm. He's catching hands on me. I lost about $200 in the first hour I was on the table. So I rebought for 200 more to get back to the max.
Yep.
Then I sat out. I didn't sit out, I was at the table. I didn't play a pot. I played one pot for the next 45 minutes probably.
So you're being a nit. Go ahead.
Excuse me?
So you're being a nit. That's good. Go ahead.
So I raise.
Come on. Go. Faster. Go.
I'm sorry. I raised with 9-7 of diamonds. He calls on the button.
All right.
And flop comes ace-10, 2 diamonds.
All right.
He bets. I can't remember exactly how much.
But he called on the button. Your first act. What'd you do?
Yes. He called. I raised.
Well, you're fucking fucked up here. You raised. He called. The flop come ace-10, 2 diamonds. What did you bet?
I'm sorry, dude. I know I'm messing this up. I'm excited right now.
It's okay. Tell me. Did you
I
bet?
raised to 16. I raised to 16 pre-flop.
All right.
He re-raises me to 50. Excuse me.
And you call with 9-7. Okay.
I call.
All right.
Flop comes ace-10.
All right.
So I'm putting him on maybe kings here, maybe ace-king.
Whatever. Go
Big
ahead.
hand. Okay. River comes an 8.
Well, what came on the turn? How'd the betting go?
8 of diamonds.
What happened on the
Turn
flop?
comes 8 of diamonds.
What happened on the flop? Who bet the flop? You have lost yourself in this story.
I'm sorry, dude. I was excited. I'm gonna replay this here for you.
You're killing me. Just tell me what happened on the flop. You checked it to him when it came ace-10?
Ace-10. I checked to him.
What'd he bet?
He bet.
My f***ing cell phone's going off. I'm sorry. I left it on. What?
You're fine. He bets about 75. I call.
Okay.
Initially, he re-raised. He re-raised on the flop. I call.
Man, you f***ed this story up. The bottom line is, what happened? Did you go broke or did you win the pot?
Bottom line is, I went broke, but I turned an open-ended flush draw and hit.
Let me tell you something,
on the river.
Because I like you and I appreciate the call, and you're a cool cat. And when you listen to this thing back on the Mouthpiece tonight, you're going to realize that you f***ing lost me and yourself, and I got no f***ing idea what happened in the hand. I'm sorry you lost, though. But call me back next week or call me anytime, and maybe we can get something straight and we can get a hand right. I got to go. I got another call. You are the man. Talk to you later. Wow. I think he was a little nervous. I think he really grenaded that hand. He seemed like a very nice guy. I wish I could have helped him through this hand and tell him what he did wrong. But he didn't tell me what happened on every street. He went from I raised the flop till I was all in on the river, to I raised, to I called, to turn, and hell, I have no idea what he was saying. Well, welcome back to the Mouthpiece. Hello.
Mikey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Happy birthday to Mikey today. Or yesterday.
Today's your birthday, Mikey?
Yesterday. It ended like a couple hours ago, but we're making this the Mikey Mouthpiece birthday edition.
Excellent. Well, happy birthday, Mike.
I turned 40, but since I'm down about 190, and I'll be about 180 here in about a couple of weeks, and my mental capacity is still going on about 12, and My body's getting down to. I've worked my body into about a 28 to 30-year-old shape. So, yeah.
Hey, that's good.
No, 40 don't mean shit. So what's going on, man?
You're going to win your prop bet.
Oh, he's drunk. He can't win. If he called me tomorrow and said, "Can I buy out for 80,000?" I wouldn't take it, but I would let him buy out. I would let him buy out for 90. Okay. That's how sure I am he can't win.
Good deal.
Well, I'm working hard. I'm running
Kentucky,
a lot.
Mikey. Oh,
what's that, bud?
This is Kevin from Kentucky there, Mikey.
Oh, Kevin from Kentucky. What's going on, man?
Yeah, well, I finally got my trip to Vegas finalized. So
all right, man.
I'll be there sometime during the series. I might not play in it, but they got one going over at Caesars, so I thought about playing in it. But my question today deals with Omaha High, which I know you're an excellent Omaha High player.
Well, I'm a really good Omaha split player, and I'm a decent Omaha High player. But pot limit or limit? Pot limit, probably,
pot
right?
limit.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Now, I'm trying to read up on it a little bit because I play it, and I've got Farhah's book. Is there anybody else that has a book out that you know of that you would recommend on Omaha?
Gosh. Not really. The best I could tell you for advice is, and I've been, I don't want to sound like I'm selling myself, but as you know, I don't know if you know, but I'm doing videos for Poker Savvy Plus, www.pokersavvyplus.com. And I'm doing tons of PLO videos. And 7-day trial, and then if you like it, it's like $24.95 a month. I'm doing a lot of videos, and you can learn a lot from watching me play certain hands in certain situations and against certain players. And I'm doing a lot of PLO, so that could help you a lot.
Yeah,
as far as books, I just don't know anybody really.
Okay.
So.
Well, I do watch you play, on Full Tilt once in a while because I play on the nice cheap 5-cent, 10-cent tables. Those are my favorites. But
well, you know what? We all start small sometime, and we move our way up. Yeah. Just remember, I started off playing $1 and $2 at one time. I moved my way to $2 and $4 to $4 and $8, and you know what? You just if it's gonna be, it's gonna be, man, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I've been doing a little bit better live. Sunday, I think I sent you an email that Sunday I've had my second biggest cash ever for $825. So
beautiful.
That was pretty nice. Yeah. Got lucky a couple times, but you got to a couple times when you're playing against 50 people. So.
You ain't lying. Well, I got another call. I appreciate the call. Call me anytime. Mike. Take care, man.
Hopefully we'll see you on June 21st.
I'll be there.
Later buddy.
Oh. The stitches are healing, boys. I'm in a lot of pain, though. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Happy birthday to Mikey. What's going on?
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
This is Joe from St. Louis. Just got a quick question. I'm not sure if anybody's asked it yet, but what's your opinion on what they're doing with the final table of the World Series?
Come on, man. You're about the 10th phone call that's asked the same question. So now my answer to you is, because on the very top of the show, I'm going to give my take on it. What is your opinion on it?
I think it's pretty ridiculous.
Good answer.
I mean, if players are on their groove going in the final table, after playing over a week of poker, it's just going to throw them off. Waiting another 4 or 5 months.
I'll talk about it on the top of the show. You got another question?
Yeah, I just got a quick question. Do you know when for sure your autobiography is coming out?
It's at the publishing deal has been done. It's probably going to be released, and this is it will be released in the spring of 2009.
Okay. Awesome.
And so will my tournament book. It's actually our publishers is the one who's doing Doyle's autobiographies, which will be coming out in the fall, and mine's coming out in the spring, and they're gonna pretty much advertise them together. So it'll be. I'm hoping to sell. Believe it or not, people laugh when I say it, but I'm hoping to sell 1 million copies. I think that because it's a lot more than poker, and you hear about all these people that do autobiographies and stuff. What's so interesting when they read my autobiography, they ain't gonna believe what they see. So it's pretty amazing that it's really in true life that it wrote. some of the things that really happened. So, and that's about it. So it's definitely 100%. It's already been guaranteed to be out before the World Series of '09. And we're looking at about possibly like March of '09.
That's awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess I got another quick little question. I guess I read somewhere that like you're like trying to like maybe get like your like life story, like autobiography, like made into like a movie maybe.
Yep.
Or something like that. Yep. Have you had any luck with that, or anything doing with that so far?
Any what?
Have you had any luck or like progress with that?
Oh, I've already got somebody that wants to do it and wants to direct it and everything. A big time guy. So.
Awesome. That's awesome.
We'll see how the book goes, and if it goes what we're planned, we're hoping for some good things. So
that's really awesome.
All right, man. I got another call.
I
appreciate your call. Call me anytime. Listen, and you'll hear my take on the thing later today. Later.
All right. Well, thanks for your time.
Yep. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Happy birthday to Mikey. You are our last phone call of the day.
Hey, Mike, I'm always the last phone call. It's Charlie from New Jersey.
Oh, you are the man. What's going on, brother?
First, I want to thank you for the autographed picture you sent my wife to give me for my birthday.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, man.
My birthday was on April 12th.
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, buddy.
You're very welcome. Yesterday was my birthday.
I know. I wish you a happy birthday online. You said thanks a lot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Everybody emailed. You get so many
40.
emails.
I'm 40, and I think I was going on 5 last week, and I think I've matured up to 12. So.
Man, I just turned 41, so we still got a long ways to go.
Yeah. So what's up, man?
One other thing, Mike. With the World Series of Poker coming up, what's this with Harris and all the rating, all the money?
I'll be talking about it at the top.
About it today?
I'm talking about it at the top of the show. You'll have to listen. What's your take on it?
I think it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Like you said, they're making enough money as sponsorship. How much money are they making on all the beer?
Wait. What? You don't even want to know what I'm about ready to say. So.
You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Just hang on, and you'll hear me at the top of the show, buddy.
I hear you. You sound like you've been. I was watching you doing good today.
I've been killing them, but I'm so tired. I've been playing way too much, but I can't quit because the games are so good.
It's too good. I know.
I mean, do you see how bad they play? Do you see what they just hand me the money?
Unbelievable.
And even the beats that I take are just atrocities. I mean,
true.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Well, I'm going to talk about that at the top of the show about how juicy that game is. And why it's so juicy.
Online.
So.
Well, keep up the good work. I hope you keep running. One other thing, when are you going to have some guests on your show, like calling up, like Phil Elmute or Daniel Negron?
You know what? We're going to start doing a lot of different things. I'm going to start doing outside segments. Of course, during the whole World Series, it's the Mouthpiece is going to be outside segments. So instead of call-ins, what we're going to do is we're going to ask everybody's going to be at the World Series. We're going to ask questions to random people with the video camera, and that will be our call-ins segments for the Mouthpiece. Cool. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a really good Mouthpiece during the World Series.
I hear you. That's good.
So.
All right, make sure you don't do no more trivia online because you got everybody going crazy.
What a fucking joke! You see what nice people do. You know, I was running awesome, so I started sending some money, doing trivia. And then they're all just they're like Harris, man. Greed, man.
Yep. That's why you're better off not even doing that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it no more. You know, I try and be nice, and they're all the same.
Yep.
But that's okay. I got to go, man. I'll talk to you later.
Right, Mike,
thanks for the call.
I'll talk to you next time.
I think I'm falling asleep while I'm talking to you. Later.
Yeah, it sounds like you're going to sleep.
I am. It just hit me hard. Later.
I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Thanks again.
All right.
Bye.
I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you all for the phone calls. Thank you for being my fans. Thank you for railing me at full tilt as I fall asleep between hands. And hope I make it home before I fall asleep because I'm really sick and played too many hours. And we'll see you next week on the Mouthpiece. And one other thing, there will be no Mouthpiece from the week of the 17th through May 24th as I'm going on a cruise the week before the World Series to relax. That's all I want everybody to know. We'll see you next week. Have a good day. Later, history. Bye. Mañana. Saya.